Shop's Next Generation, every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on Outdoor Channel.
Hey, welcome to Rocky Geared Up. I'm your host, Steve Puppy. Have you ever had a dream of becoming a big game guide? Well, today we're taking you to school. That's right, we're going to the Western Montana School for Guides, where you can learn everything there is to becoming a big game guide. And along with school, we're going to Idaho. Mitch Petrie, Rocky Geared Up's executive producer, he's going to be hunting with Circle KBL Outfitters on his first ever black bear hunt.
Well, the Western Montana School for Guides is located about 40 miles outside of a little town in western Montana by the name of Darby, Montana. We have the students come in on a 28-day program. They arrive on a Sunday afternoon. We get them squared away in their tents, get them all situated, and have a big dinner for them. We start bright and early Monday morning with our orientation about all the events that are going to take place over the next 4 weeks. We tell them kind of what we expect of them. We interview the students real close to find out what their goals and objectives are so we can help them meet those goals during the month that they're with us. My horsemanship instructor is Ron Skinner. He's been with us since we started 10 years ago teaching the horsemanship. We'll start them in the round corral where they'll learn how to handle the horse, getting on and off, all the things that they need to get started. From there we'll progress, we'll head out into the pasture, inside the pasture, and ride around, have the students put the horse where they want it to go instead of where the horse wants to go. And there's obstacles out there. We make them cross water and over logs and some muddy, swampy areas to go around and through. We work on that through the whole first week, all the different aspects of the horsemanship. One important aspect of our school, it's the job placement part of our program, where we work with each student from the very first day they get there. Myself and the other instructors, we want to find out what employment is going to work best for each particular student. Some students will spend a month with us and they will learn that they do not like being around horses and mules, and they're going to be better suited for an outfitting operation that uses four-wheelers or boats or just a lodge and backpacking versus a backcountry wilderness operation. Here's a student that graduated from our program and decided to become employed with us. His name is Len Wood. He came from Rhode Island. Went through our whole program. We liked Len. He fit right in as a good guide. He's a hard worker. He's running our spring bear hunting operation in Idaho.
That's a mixture of what? Oats and corn
and molasses. Of course.
Is it pre-mixed or are you going to mix it all here?
No, that's all pre-mixed. That's a pre-mix, but we have other things that we add to it, such as we have grease and we have other various liquids that we add to it, attractants.
That's all pre-mixed molasses, corn, and those.
That's called a three-way, correct. Later on, we go to the bait sites and we check them out. We're going to see how they actually clear the bait site. They push all the logs out. and they spread it out, and they just scoop it right up, and they lay in it. It's pretty neat.
All this talk about bear food is making me hungry. I think I might have to go get
Let's
some
go have
breakfast.
some breakfast, yeah.
After a great breakfast like all of the meals in Scott's camps, Glenn and partner Bill Prokoff head out to check and rebait all of their sets. Mitch, in the meantime, takes a few minutes to make sure the Zero is still on with his muzzleloader before he heads to the stand.
Works for me. That's pretty much dead on route where I was aiming, so I think we're sighted in. Caught a little bit of the scope maybe in the brim of my hat. Got my attention, but I think we're good to go.
Rocky Geared Up is brought to you by Collis Optics, Sportsman's Guide, Montana Canvas, World Class Wildlife Studios, DPMS Panther Arms, Piston Point Broadhead, River's Edge Tree Stand, Dead Downwind, Bowtech Archery, Mossy Oak Camo, Chickies Products, and Rocky Outdoor Gear.
Big outdoor stores have big fancy buildings. And who pays for them? Get a clue, my friend. Check the Sportsman's Guide first. Our catalog and web pages have thousands of the same name brand hunting supplies, gear, and accessories as major stores, but at the lowest prices guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-30-6 for a free catalog. Or go online at sportsmansguide.com. The Sportsman's Guide. No overhead, just the lowest prices, the best quality guaranteed.
Where do hunters fail? Clothing preparation. Dead Downwind introduces the only 3-step antimicrobial process for your clothing. E1 detergent cleans clothing to a submicrobial level. E2 dryer sheets encapsulates with an antimicrobial barrier. E3 field spray, your last line of defense against odor-causing agents. Dead Downwind is easy as E1, E2, E3. Contact an outdoor dealer near you or log on to deaddownwind.com.
We observe all the major holidays at Mossy Oak. It's not a passion, it's an obsession.
You're watching Rocky Geared Up.
We use a grape juice additive. Put some on the bottom. Now, the reason why I'm putting it on the bottom is because that's going to be the last out. So when we tip the pail upside down, that attractant is going to be on top of it. 3/4 away. Now he's going to add a little more. My partner's going to add a little more there. Okay, that's good. Next what we do is we're going to take the cooking grease and we're going to add that to the top. And we've already established this feed size, so we don't have to use that much, but we use enough just to bind this together a little bit. And also what happens is that the bear, when he gets to the bait site, steps in this and it adheres to the bottom of his pads, and then he walks off. And other bears pick up the scent, and that enables it to follow it back to the site.
It's interesting because it doesn't look all that appetizing.
Well, we can have you try some, you can see.
Well, I think if we don't have any bear meat to go home with, we might end up having to eat some of that.
Logs out. We're going to rebait it and put some more traction around and reset the logs in a pattern, a certain kind of a pattern. This big log here will enable you, when we lay it on its side, will enable you to gauge how big he is.
Right.
You see how we'll measure that off right now for you.
Yep.
When we get it done, you'll know that when he reaches a certain mark, that he's a certain size and the size that you want to harvest, then you take him. Other than that, if he's too small for you, you'll be able to gauge that, then you just let him pass.
Yep. Are the bears attracted to some of the noise you're making, or they're used to the...
They're used to it by now.
Yeah.
They're used
So there's the dinner bell right there?
That's the dinner bell. We're ringing the proverbial dinner bell. Yeah. We like to cover the bait to keep the other larger animals off of it, the elk, the mule deer, and the ravens too. The ravens are pretty strong. They can really get in here. And if we just left it like this, they would move this stuff right away. The elk would come down and stomp it, break them, push them out of the way. So we usually, I like to do a grid to make sure that we know that something big is in here. So I'm going to crisscross this now, put the heaviest stuff on top.
Len and Bill proceed to finish covering the bait and put a little aroma in the air to help attract the bears. Mitch settles into his stand in anticipation of seeing his first ever black bear.
One of the biggest calls for guide employment from outfitters that we hear the most of is outfitters that are looking for backcountry guides. And when I say backcountry, I'm talking about an operation that uses horses and mules to pack in all their gear and equipment into the backcountry, anywhere from 3 miles to 50 miles or more, their camps and their whole hunting area. We spend a lot of time teaching the students about horse and mule packing, the equipment that we use, the Decker saddles, the sawbuck saddles for different geographic areas. We teach them about manning loads traditionally. We teach them the importance of balancing the load, fitting the pack saddle to the mule or horse. I'll say mule because that's most of what we pack is mules, and most outfitters are using mules. They use panniers in some operations. You see a lot of them with top packs and diamond hitches. We try to cover every aspect of the pack, and even if it's something that we don't do in our own operation, we try to give them every tool that they can have in their bag of tricks, so when they get to an outfitting area to work for one of our outfitters, that they are versed in all the different aspects of what they might encounter when they get out in the field.
We're going to try to make it as tight as we can. We can't push our knot very well, okay? So when we get to the end here, okay, we put our last half hitch, okay? We just put our last half hitch on, we're going to roll it. Now we're going to move the other end. Move the other end, okay? Yep. That way, we can do either one here. That way.
So as the school's progressing, we have outfitters that call us and give us a description of what they're looking for in a guide. If they have a backcountry wilderness area in Colorado, or if they have a fly-in Alaska operation or a duck and goose operation in Maryland, to a turkey whitetail operation in Alabama. And then as the class progresses, we give the students that are best suited for each individual outfitter the leads and help line up the interviews, sometimes on the phone. We have outfitters local from Idaho, Montana, that will come to the school and do interviews with the students that are interested in employment with that particular outfitter.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Rocky Outdoor Gear,